Good morning, Unity of Sarasota. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I didn't wear green, I'm so sorry. At least it doesn't show. Hey, we got the multi-talented Phil Lieber here today to play guitar and sing for you. It's been a while. Yeah. See, I didn't even have to ask them to do that. Pretty good. Your reputation precedes you. All right, let's do that Life is Beautiful song.
Let's go drifting through the trees. Let's go sailing on the sea. Let's go dancing on the juke joint floor. Leave our troubles all behind. Have a party so easily forgotten. Most important thing, like a melody of the moonlight in your eyes, a song that lasts forever, keeps on getting better all the time. Life is beautiful, life is wondrous. Every star above shining just for us. Life is beautiful on a stormy night. Somewhere in the world, sun is shining bright. I get crazy, so afraid that I might lose you one fine day, and I'd be nothing but a tired old man. I don't want to be without you at the party, so easily forgotten. Most important thing, that I love you, I do. Wanna spend my days and nights walking through this crazy world with you. Life is beautiful, life is wondrous. Every star above shining just for us. Life is beautiful on a stormy night. Somewhere in the world, sun is shining bright. So easily forgotten. Most important thing, that I love you, I do. Wanna spend my days and nights walking through this crazy world with you. Join with me. Life is beautiful, life is wondrous. Every star above shining just for us. Life is beautiful on a stormy night. Somewhere in the world, sun is shining bright.
Thank you, Phil.
Very appropriate song for today. Life is beautiful. Beautiful day. An old Kebmo tune, right? I don't hear much from him anymore. Okay, our purpose here at Unity is to create a place where you can learn, grow, and worship while on your ever-changing spiritual path through life. And wherever you are on your journey today, we encourage you and we want you to know that you are welcome here and encouraged along your journey. Because together with the Unity movement around the world, we create a place that works for all people. All right, let's welcome our visitors first. So if you are visiting with us for the first time, will you please stand? And remain standing until you get this gift that we have for you. And I'd like to find out where everyone is from. All right, our board member of the day, Bruce, is bringing around a gift for you. And that gift contains a necklace. It contains a card that we'd like for you to fill in and give us more information about you. And you can place that card in the collection basket today, or you can take it with you to the fellowship hall. There will be a board member over in fellowship hall today after service who can answer any questions that you may have about Unity. So look for the umbrella. There's a table there with an umbrella. Now let us find out where you're from, and starting in the rear with the, I think that's a lemon color. Yes. Will you please? All right, from Sarasota, welcome. All right, yes, okay. Okay, Sarasota in West Virginia. Okay, thank you. We didn't get your names, I'm sorry. Erica, and what's the second name? Okay, thank you. All right, next, will you please introduce yourself? Okay, Deborah Freed from Sarasota. Thank you and welcome. All right. Yes, and in the rear there.
My name is Cody Lloyd Johnson. I'm from Delray, Florida. Just moved here.
Well, thank you, Mr. Jones, and welcome. All right. All right, and here. Well, thank you, Kathy, and welcome. All right. All right. Yes, here. Okay, Kara from Ohio, and wow. Well, welcome. We do welcome you here. And let me point something out. The shell necklace that you'll find in your gift packet, put it on and wear it proudly, because it will give you first place in any line that you find around here today. So it has special powers, and I like to point that out to you. Okay. Now let's welcome those that join us by way of our live stream online. Let's wave to them. Just turn, and the window in the back there, just wave to that. All right. Thank you. And we want you to know that we know that you're here with us, and we enjoy having you here. All right. Next, let's recognize our children. Do we have any children present with us? Okay. Well, they're already over with Cheryl. I almost said Reverend Cheryl, but over with Cheryl. And she is our children's department, and she also introduced me to another member this morning, don't quite remember the name, that has joined her there. So that department is growing, and we do encourage you to bring any children that you have with you here to join us. All right, now let's read our slide here. We love you. We bless you, we appreciate you, and we see the living Spirit in you. Okay. Now, I'd like to invite Reverend Betty up to read our, yes, announcements.
I'm going to do the announcements. Yes, thank you, Sam. Yes, okay. So if you're new today, I am the interim minister, and we are eagerly awaiting the new permanent minister who has signed the contract, packing up to go, and is going to be starting with us the second Sunday in April. So we're really glad to welcome Reverend Elizabeth. Okay, so we thank Phil for his beautiful talent, wherever he is. He took his hat off. I couldn't find him. Today is Potluck Sunday. So be sure to go back at the fellowship hall. We usually have wonderful feast on Potluck Sunday, the third Sunday of every month. So join us, even if you didn't bring something. There'll be a bountiful, abundant food for all of us. And happy Easter. Well, that's coming up. We're going to be doing Palm Sunday next week, and then Easter came early, so the last Sunday of March is Easter, and we're preparing for that in many ways. We do have also a Good Friday service here at 7 o'clock in the church, so think about putting that on your calendar, and we have some Easter lilies for sale that you may purchase in memorial of someone who may have made the transition and someone of your family or friends. And we'll decorate the podium here in Easter lilies on Easter Sunday. And then you pick up the one you bought and take it home with you. And yes, we're having a special event April 6th. And we're going to give you a little taste of that. You get the details in the bulletin. I'm going to invite Bruce and Tim to come forward, and Rob is involved in this as well, and they're going to give you a little preview of what's up.
Good morning. How's everybody today? As the slide says, on April the 6th, we're having a cabaret show featuring our own Rob Satori and Tim Spradlin. Tickets will be for sale at the door primarily. If you need to buy them in advance, I can arrange for that as well. I hope you all can come and bring friends, neighbors, family. I'd like to pack this whole room. It is a church fundraiser. And I'm going to say, too, that if you know anyone that would like to come and cannot afford it, please let me know, because we're going to donate a number of tickets for people that can't afford it so that they can come. Sorry about that. Hello, it's Rob Satori. Hey, Rob, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? Good to talk to you, Bruce.
Hey, I'm just announcing to the church about the cabaret show that you guys are doing.
Wow, what a coincidence.
Good. Hey, so kind of tell me, what kind of numbers are you singing? Are you doing opera or pop rock or what?
No, I don't know. We may be doing opera, but I know I'm doing some Sinatra, some original stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a great, big show.
Oh, well, that's cool. Well, Rob, reason I called you and asked you to call me back is that I wanted to ask you something that I can't ask Tim about, but did you know I can sing?
No, Bruce, I really didn't know that.
Well,
I heard a rumor.
I keep asking Tim if I can be in the cabaret show, and he just absolutely not. So, but I imagine there'll be some 50s and 60s rock stuff.
Can you give me a little
I can
taste?
really sing. Like the name game, you know that one?
Can you?
If the first two letters are ever the same, then you drop the first and you leave it the same. Let's do
Whoa,
Rob.
whoa.
Rob, Bob, banana, Bob, feed, 5, 4, Rob. So what do you think, Rob?
I tell you what, we can put you in on the last number of the show.
Oh, Tim tells me that's the big number of the show.
We'll have already done the big number, but you can do there. What we want to do is clear out the place. Okay. So yeah.
Well,
just
we all
hang out
start
till then.
somewhere, and this is my start. Hope you all can make it.
All right, thanks, Bruce. It's Saturday.
All right, let's ask the experts there.
It's been Saturday.
Saturday, the 8th.
No, the
I'm
6th.
sorry, 6th. I'm going to complicate it further, right? Okay.
Our flyers in the fellowship room that you pick up too.
Okay, got it. Everybody got it? Yeah, we want to pack this place. Okay, thank you. And we have a new class coming, chair yoga, and you'll get the details in your bulletin as well. We're appreciating Drew Kindred, who just became a member of our church, who's going to be doing it from 11 to noon on Wednesday, starting on March 20th, coming up, right, or Wednesdays. Okay, Unity Magazine is on sale. Wonderful magazine. If you haven't seen it's a bi-monthly magazine, and it's in the bookstore. You can also buy your lilies in the bookstore. You can also sign up for the cabaret and pay for that in the bookstore. So visit the bookstore today. So now let's stand and sing together the Unity song.
Every prayer is answered, every prayer is heard, every thought and feeling, every spoken word, what your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel is already here, is already real. There is no one out there is no one else. You hold all the answers deep inside yourself. There's a voice that whispers, there's no you, no me. There's just one, there's just unity. One power, one presence, one light to lead the way. All loving, all knowing, that answers when you pray. When the world looks darkest and your eyes can't see, gather all your troubles, give them all to me. I'm alone with you, I will always be. I am one, I am unity. We are one, we are unity.
Standing as we say our presence together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, who is perfect life, perfect intelligence, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. Look to someone. You are an individualized expression of God. We are an individualized expression of God. Now we'll have some more beautiful music. Yay.
And this is Phil's own arrangement of these two songs, so he did a nice job.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed days and dark sacred nights. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. Wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. Brotherhood of man. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Imagine.
We can imagine, and wow, that came from divine imagination, that arrangement. Woo, touches our hearts deeply. Thank you, guys. Wow, I got chills, God bumps. So let's gently close our eyes, if you're willing, and just get centered so that we can open our hearts, open our minds to this divine idea of prosperity that we're talking about this last 3 Sundays. So we affirm that God is our instant, constant, and abundant source of everything. God is our instant, constant, abundant source of everything. And this abundance, this supply, this substance is everywhere present, available to us as we open to receive it. And so we say we are so grateful and so blessed. Thank you, God. Amen and amen. So we've been studying the work of Eric Butterworth the last 2 Sundays, and this will be the final in the series. We're going to talk about divine generosity. In our earlier series, part of the series, we talked about abundance being so available, just what we are taking in to our understanding and our divine wisdom. And the more we trust that abundance is everywhere, and it's our birthright as spiritual beings, having this temporary earthly experience. And the second Sunday, we talked about creating a prosperity consciousness. That's being intentional to focus on it and pay attention to the blessings in our life, to do the work we need to do to release the shadow part of our ego that holds us back with ideas of lack or unworthiness. So these are the things we work on as we're building a consciousness, and then we dwell in gratitude. And so today, we appreciate this idea of divine generosity. Life is a giving process. Your life is God's gift to you. Your life is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift to God. Eric Butterworth. Deep, right? I mean, okay, that's enough. You got it. I mean, these ideas are so big as we take them in and then work on experiencing them within us, but then living from that place of divine wisdom. And so we're meant to be rich and prosperous. And prosperity is not all about money or material things. We know that. It's about our entire well-being. So Butterworth says that we're made in God's image, and we have all the attributes of God available to us. And one of those attributes is divine generosity. So this abundance, if we can just keep trusting, is always there for us. It's our human mind that blocks the receiving of that. And it's really important because if we listen to that small, still voice within us, that spark of divinity in us, that I am of us, the Christ presence in us, the Christ consciousness, we call it in unity, then we are being called to recognize our divine powers and gifts, to recognize them and then put them to use out into the world to be what we have come here to be. And that is fully human and fully divine. So Butterworth talked in chapter 10 about takers and givers. He said there are takers in the world, and they're constantly focused on getting, the sum total of all that seems to be out there that they can bring into their lives from the outside. Always planning and strategizing and striving to win, no matter what the cost, no matter who suffers, no matter what happens to those they would call losers. And no matter what the taker gets, though, he or she can rarely know peace, security, or wholeness, Butterworth says. There is never enough in the taker consciousness. And usually, at least it's my experience, that we fall into that. I think, there are times in our lives when we all may be takers more than givers. And that's when we take on this victim mentality, where we feel unworthy, or we feel we're lacking something, we feel we're not good enough. And that really is a classical human dilemma, right? That's just made up by our human mind because of some experiences we had in childhood, when our mind was just forming these deeper beliefs. And really the culture around us and all the messages we get all the time about what is success. What defines prosperity. And so last week I did ask, that you go out and think about your own personal definition of prosperity. Anybody manage to do that or think about it? Yay! You want to share anything? Okay. But great. All right. Good. Yeah. So that's the taker mentality, the taker consciousness. The giver, on the other hand, of course, recognizes that life is a giving process. This is Eric Butterworth's phrase. Life is a giving process. And they're motivated, when we're in a giver mentality, we're motivated to share our loving kindness, share in service, in all the many ways that we're spiritually guided. We, as givers, we listen to that still small voice guiding us. We trust that still small voice. That even if we have temporary times when we're in difficult challenges, either financially or with our health or with our relationships, that those are temporary, and that we can trust, if we listen to the guidance within, the divine wisdom within, that these will change, that we'll walk through these challenges with grace and ease. That's our work, to develop our faith muscle. Somebody called it the faith muscle. I'm not sure I like that, but it just dawned on me that's what I heard, I think somebody described one time. So the givers begin to really understand that deeper experience of peace, divine peace, and security that doesn't change if we're secure in our understanding that we can be guided through these difficult situations and our well-being. So the givers are able to discern this deeper wisdom that is always flowing in us, but we're just not aware of it sometimes. So as the human self, we're conditioning our mind. That is the work we do as students of unity, of metaphysics. We condition our minds to be aware of that voice, of that guidance that comes. And I have a minister friend who sometimes call it being downloaded, you know, just all of a sudden being aware. This is our divine intuition, in touch with divine wisdom and love, and being open to those things. Now, takers, givers, Butterworth says, don't use these terms to judge others, but apply it to yourself as kind of a test. How much are you taking? How much are you giving? And just think about your life and what it feels like over time to be in that giving flow, because I think we all have, a little bit of each of that in different times in our lives. We might be takers, and then as we continue to grow spiritually and develop and evolve and understanding of our spiritual gifts, then we're listening deeper and we're having that experience of understanding where our true source is. Butterworth says you cannot make any sense out of life or realize the free flow of prosperity in your experience until you see yourself as a giver. So that's a good test, as you go forth, think about, do I see myself as generous? Am I using the guidance of divine generosity to give into the world? And again, we're not talking only money. We're talking about sharing yourself. And that would be your time, talent, treasure, all those things that you can offer in this world. So in the Bible, there is a quote that Jesus said, which is, "Give, and you shall receive," in the book of Luke. Well, I like to read different versions of the Bible, and this week as I was thinking about this, I read the Message version, and I was actually curious. I've read the Message. Anybody else read sometimes the Message? It's an interpretation of the Bible. I won't say it's an actual translation, but it was a Presbyterian minister who wrote the Message, which is an interpretation of the New Testament. And he felt that when he read the King James Version or the New Revised Version, that the congregation wasn't quite getting it. So then he wrote in plain contemporary English what he interpreted each phrase to be. And so that Message in Luke, which reads in the New Revised Version, which we use in Unity, reads, "Give and it will be given to you." Yes. And then they use a metaphor of, there's a metaphor, it was translated, "In good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, it will be put in your lap." This is a metaphor of cooking and using, the yeast that rises, and that was a very expensive ingredient in bread. And so they use that as the highest metaphor of you're going to get lots of good, and for the measure you give, you will receive the measure back. So the translation in the Message is, give away your life. Find life giving back. But not merely given back with bonuses and blessings. Giving, not getting, is the way. And I thought that was interesting because that's consistent with what Butterworth is talking about, takers being get. So he's, in the Message, giving, not getting, is the way. And generosity begets generosity. The more we give, there are some studies by the behavioral scientists that say giving is good for our well-being. I mean, I literally have read, it lowers blood pressure. I mean, there's some studies that actually have tested the person's peace by measuring blood pressure, by measuring heart rate, And so, and then the all the systems of the body beginning to be affected just by the act of giving, increasing and lowering depression. They were measuring these things in some of the tests and experiments. Well, Charles Fillmore and Eric Butterworth, too, throughout his book, he quotes Ralph Waldo Emerson, and I've quoted it, I think, in the last two talks as well. Each of us is an inlet, and may become an outlet of all there is of God. This was Ralph Waldo Emerson in the 1800s. Each of us is an inlet and may become an outlet of all there is in God. So we are made of God qualities, but we may not be totally aware of them because we're blocking their expression into the world. So the metaphor is like, God being the mighty river that flows freely and has power, and then there's these little inlets that are whirlpools that go in the opposite direction of the flow of the river. So sometimes we just get over in our mind to this idea of being separate from God somehow, right? Well, haven't we all had experiences that way where we just struggle to connect with that higher power? There are times in everybody's life where we struggle. So we get rid of the rocks that create the inlet. We get rid of the junk in our trunk, some people call it. That it's the shadow side of our ego that holds us back. The ego's not all bad. There are some ways of thinking that we want to kill the ego. No, we don't want to kill the ego because it does serve us in a human way. But there are aspects of the ego that are in line with our spirituality and some that hold us back from truly understanding that we're fully human, fully spiritual beings, both. And that creates a lot of paradox in our life, which is a whole, lifetime curriculum to understand paradox and the paradox of being a spiritual human. And so we get sometimes in this stuckness and disorientation, but we don't want negativity just to take up a home in our consciousness where we're stuck forever. And to again, it's our spiritual practices where we sit and listen in the silence, in meditation, where we do spiritual practices that help us release. The practice of forgiveness is so important. If we're holding anything in our consciousness, any unforgiveness where we've separated ourselves from others, keep visualizing sending love to that person that upset you or you feel irritated you, or don't blame the other person. Just make a channel of love and embrace that person with love. And that sounds pretty Pollyannish if you've not studied these deeper understandings of the power of love. It can heal at a distance. You don't even have to be in front of the person to forgive. The person could be miles away. And we've had experiences, those of you who had these beautiful experiences of releasing unforgiveness, brings you joy, brings out your generosity, just increases the flow of the God qualities within you into the world. And so Brother Worth also says that true generosity is a blessing, not an obligation. If we see it as an obligation, we can start feeling some resentment, some separation. Again, this idea of separation. Well, I ought to, well, I should. We don't should ourselves. Give as a blessing. Give of ourselves as a blessing. Be a cheerful giver. Be a loving giver. and keep working on these ideas. I came across a Zen story, and I'll try to make it short here, of a monk who went up and built a little hut on the side of a mountain. And so one evening, he was in this beautiful mode of taking a walk every evening, and so he went out and along the trail, did his walk, and came back to the hut and found a thief. Well, the thief had sneaked in the hut, but there was really nothing to steal. So the thief is very frustrated and looking sad because he had hoped he was going to get something from this little hut. And so this monk turned to him and said, "Wow, you've come a long way up the side of a mountain to visit me. And you shouldn't return empty-handed." He said, "But the only thing I can give you here, my shirt, my clothes. I'll give you my clothes." And so, bless you, that's all he could give him. Thief went down the mountain. And the monk, in this beautiful place of peace and love, went out to just look at the moon. So he's focusing on the beauty of the moon. And he said, "Oh, that poor wretched fellow, I wish I could give him this moon." Isn't that beautiful? It's the thought behind it. Of course, if you take that literally, it sounds pretty weird. He's naked out in the watching the moon. So all right, that image, go away. Go. All right. So if we're feeling obliged to give, we want to release that and go into our center and find this space of divine love, and then being guided through divine generosity to give. And give without expecting a specific outcome. That's a transaction, and Butterworth calls it in his book a bribe. A bribe. Yeah, I'll give you this, but I expect this from you. Even if it's an unconscious or a silent expectation, then that's not true spiritual generosity. And also give to where you're fed spiritually, as well as to charities, as well as to your family and friends and others around you. And so we hope you're being fed by Unity of Sarasota. And we hope you can touch that place within you to give cheerfully and share your good with Unity of Sarasota. And now I've got I always like to give little challenges or assignments, so I got another assignment. And this actually, I didn't realize till I looked at it that someone had actually practiced that with me. A couple of times I've met people who say, "Wherever I go, whoever I encounter, I will bring them a gift." Now, this can be a compliment, a flower, a prayer. This is Deepak Chopra's advice. And I didn't realize that, I had a friend once who just, we met, we hadn't seen each other for several months, and she was saying, "What can I do for you? How can I support you and love you more?" I thought, that is a gift. That's a gift. So think about that this week as you go out, and with everyone you see, even if it's a silent prayer, you see the Christ consciousness in that person. You see God within. You see the divine spark in everyone you meet. Give them a prayer. Give them a compliment. Give them a flower. And continue to be grateful for all the blessings that life has to offer. This is divine generosity. And so let's just close our eyes again and say again our affirmation. God is my constant, abundant source of all that is, of everything I need, of everything I desire. And so it is. Amen.
I've seen us struggle and I've seen us stumble and get back up again. I've seen us worry and I've seen the courage that shines in us, my friends. You inspire me, and I can't help but see. How beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful you are. How beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful you are. When I'm losing hope at the end of my rope, I find strength in your eyes. 'Cause you've walked alone on the darkest of roads, and your spirit still shines. You inspire me to live courageously. How beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful you are. How beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful you are. What a lucky soul am I, just to have you in my life. How beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful you are. How beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful you are. How beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful you are.
Oh, that was perfect. Perfect, perfect. Thank you. All right, I'm calling the chaplains forward. So will all the chaplains present come up? And these are the people who will pray with you after the service. They're always here before and after the service to offer prayer. And so we're grateful for them. And if you'd like prayer, if something you want to celebrate, or if there's something heavy on your heart, just come over to this front area and they'll find you and take you to a quiet place to pray. And our prayers are only like 3 to 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, I just want to let you know we don't do long prayers. We're going to work with you and pray with you. All right. And so we do appreciate and we're blessed with this beautiful divine generosity. So we are thanking everyone for their offerings. And so let's bless the offerings, whether you send them by mail or go to the website and press the donate button, or if you put them in the usher's basket. Let's now bless these offerings we give. Divine love blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive abundantly. If you'll stand, we'll say together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God our Creator, family all the way. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Let every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.